This corn here's had our seed treatment on the seed, and it had a ton of litter on it. And last year in the spring, we put hog manure on this field, but it does not have it right here. We're standing in a place that did not get the liquid hog manure sprayed on it.
Okay.
And there goes some with it right there. You just can't save them all when you do a dig. But so far, showing pretty good root structure. It's a very well developed root system, especially when we're talking, between V3 and V4. Very impressive. Talk about what's going on underneath the soil. There's a tremendous amount going on underneath there. We broke a lot of these roots off, but kind of gives you an idea. I mean, honestly, what we've seen the last several years, especially, seems like this third and fourth season of having SureGrow, is our soil has not just continued to get better, but we've also seen the color change. I know we have a lot of moisture right now, but even while we were planting this year, we noticed whenever it dried out, our soil just had a darker tint, which we've seen the increase on the soil tests in our organic matter, sometimes up to quite a bit, but typically about 0.25% each year. Some farms we've jumped 1% in a year. But a lot of companies test organic matter from the color, actually, which is interesting. But our soil has gotten a lot blacker, and you can see digging down 10 inches or so, even after we had 3.5 inches of rain since Sunday. Today's Thursday, and I mean, looks pretty nice. Our wet spots in the field are increasingly drying down, so we're definitely opening up that soil, letting water down. This here typically would have been more like a brick, but it breaks apart pretty nice. So
see how your roots going down.
yeah,
If like this one, it's penetrating the soil, and the upper has capillaries coming off it. And this one has been in the depth for a while, and the capillaries are toward the bottom.
mm-hmm.
And look at the size of the plant, and this root is broken, but it's almost as tall as the plant.
Yep.
So if you're seeking nutrients, you're getting there.
Yep. And we don't have our gallon of SureGrow sprayed on yet. When we do that, it's gonna explode.
But I'm impressed with the structure of the plant in general.
Me too. All right, we're back on the east side of the field where it did get hog manure last spring. Same variety of corn. Seeing the same thing. Nice fibrous leaf. The sheath is very tough. Takes a lot to pull it apart.
It's twice as tough as the other side. Don't you agree?
Yeah, probably. The leaf itself is even tougher.
Whew.
Yep. Very good structural. All right, let's dig him up. See what it looks like below the ground. Very curious to see what we will look like with more soil fertility. Go back to this side. I mean, from what I can see, compared to that other side, it doesn't look like our root system has had to go as far, you know, a little more.
There's less searching going on
Yep.
in this side at that side
Yep.
because look look at and
Right.
you got so it's not having to search as far to get what it needs.
Yep.
And there's less hair roots on this.
Yeah, there is. Yep. It'll be interesting to compare throughout the season, throughout the growing season, because we've got 6,000 gallons to the acre of that hog manure that we treated. Dropped a worm.
Yep.
The worms like it.
See the structure of the plant coming.
Mm-hmm.
I want to compare it.
That's a big difference. Yikes. Which is which?
This is $120 more than that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One got cooked. Good night. That is a big difference.
Yep. Big difference.
But that's what it's about, proving the process to the end. You know, if you wouldn't have done this on this field, you wouldn't have a comparison to see if the $120 was worth it.
Right. Yeah, and look how like
Yeah,
look at the
Exactly.
I mean look at how the dirt clung to these roots, the rhizosphere that's created in that root zone versus hog manure, you know. And you would think something natural like hog manure would be a really good form of fertilizer, right?
But you would think that. But here's what you got to think: whatever the animal you get the manure from, you have to know what the animal possesses on the inside. Hog manure is has many pathogens in them,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't have to overcome it here, but you have to overcome it there.
Sure.
And that we treated that manure
Yeah.
to kill pathogen, and it was a good treatment because we seen the smell go down and all the it was treated well.
Yep. Well, the guy who pumped it, he does that for a living, and he said it was the most liquefied pit that he'd ever pumped out of in his life. And the the hog farmer said that the smell was gone around his place. That's just amazing to me. But we can see we're doing some really good things with our seed treatment.
Yes. Yes.
We've already surpassed where we were last year at this time. Probably by double, I'd say. Wow. Amazing. Yep, so we got here the roots of the plant that did not get the 6,000 gallons of hog manure last spring. This plant did come from the side of the field that got the 6,000 gallons of hog manure. We had a bean crop in between then and now, and we didn't see any benefits of the manure in the bean crop, so I was hoping maybe the following year, which would be now. With our SureGrow last year on the ground again, it's had SureGrow on that ground for 3 years. This will be the 4th year. We had treated our seed with our microbes this year, and it's looking to me like I'd rather have this guy on my team than this guy. Wouldn't you say, Bill?
Most definitely. The structure of the plant is twice as good as the structure of the other plant. So to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yep. Looks like our microbes are doing better making their own fertilizer than supplying it with an overabundance of hog manure.
And I'm not knocking hog manure.